Cooking with David. Cooking with David. Cooking with David. Cooking with David. This scrumptious meal, PCR.
Today we're cooking with meat. Today we're going to be making polymerase chain reaction. What you're going to need: cutting board, your pot, and these are your materials. Next, we're going to need our ingredients. Get some of this stuff right here, you know what I mean? Alright, we're going to go ahead and slap it down. And let me get these two knives. Alright. Voila! We have our letters. Can't be forgetting these now. Aha! I'm finished. My masterpiece. Alright, now that we got our base pairs and DNA sequences, all we have to do now is add our primers and polymerase. Our primers are right here.
Pow! Ching!
And I'll throw those right on in there. You know what I mean? Get some more of those. We don't care. Alright, now we need our polymerase, which is these things right here, if you know what I mean. Just get a bunch of these, and you just throw them in there willy-nilly, just like you don't care, because we're just copying DNA, just mundane activities, am I right? So, alright, so now what you gotta do, you gotta be very careful in this one. You gotta get your DNA sequences. Careful not to disturb them. Get them right on in there. Ooh, ooh. Oh, this is intense. Alright. Alright. Woo! We got it. Let's put it in the oven.
In PCR, you have these things called cycles. This is cycle 1. And here's your DNA, and here's your target DNA. This is what we want to copy. The first step is called denaturation. Denaturation happens at around 95 degrees Celsius. At this temperature, the DNA begins to split. And after it splits, it goes into step 2, which is called annealing. In annealing, it happens at around 54 degrees Celsius. And then you have these things coming in. These things are called polymerase. And they're joined by these other things called primers. Now these primers go to their respective locations, and it's kind of hard to see the DNA sequences, but they are there. And their primers also have their complementary base pairs as shown. And after this, the polymerase go over to the primers and wake up, and a third step takes place called extension, which happens at about 72 degrees Celsius. And the polymerase then completes the DNA sequences as shown here, and then the cycle has been complete. After that, cycles will continue on and add, so you can have cycle 2 and then it'll duplicate, and then cycle 3 and it'll duplicate even more. By cycle 30 you can have up to 1 billion strands of DNA which you can use. And that's how PCR works.
It's done. Hot, ow, oh, hot. As you can see, the DNA has duplicated and PCR has worked.